All right, welcome back, everybody. Happy 2021. Glad you made it with us. So definitely excited for this new year and everything that it's going to hold. One thing in particular that we are looking forward to here at Primal Athletics is the CrossFit Open. And that's kind of going to be the central theme of today's episode. Basically, what is the CrossFit Open, why you should do it, and some changes that are happening this year within the CrossFit Open. And then we'll kind of talk about how we specifically at CrossFit Nashville and CrossFit Sauhegan plan on handling the Open. So for those of us who have participated in it, we've got a basic idea of how these things run, but I'm just going to go over the general view of what the Open is, especially for those of us who maybe haven't done it before, and this might be our first year. So the CrossFit Open is a worldwide competition put on by CrossFit headquarters. Started in 2011 and has been going every year since, typically in February. This year it's going to be in March. We'll get into that in a minute. So it's traditionally a 5-week competition. And again, this year is a little different. It'll be 3 weeks. But CrossFit HQ puts out a workout every week for consecutive weeks. And everybody in the CrossFit community across the globe can compete kind of together at their own level, whether that be an RX athlete, a scaled athlete, masters athlete, this year an adaptive athlete, which is really cool. And basically we all are able to kind of have this similar experience and similar competition, doing the same WODs. So the CrossFit Open is basically a huge community builder for the global CrossFit community. And it's a good opportunity for us as athletes to test ourselves and be able to track our progress across years. Is that pretty spot on, Zach and Eric? Anything you want to put in there?
Yeah, no, that's good. It's the largest competition or sport in the world, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think two years ago there was over 400,000 CrossFit athletes who participated in over like 175 countries, and that's just growing, which is really cool to see the involvement and the engagement in the CrossFit Open. And, we're just really excited to get everybody on board for it this year specifically. A couple of things. Maybe you're thinking, hey, I'm not a competitive athlete. Why am I thinking about doing a competition? Realistically, the CrossFit Open is built around inclusivity and wanting to allow everybody to be able to participate, right? Obviously, in those workouts, we're going to separate the levels of athlete. We're going to separate the elite because eventually they're going to go on to, the regional or sanctional events in the games. But for most of us, it's just an opportunity to kind of, have fun, be part of that big community. And again, it's a good opportunity to test yourself and to be able to track your year-to-year progress. So if you're thinking, why should I do it? Just understand it's a lot of fun, and you're going to end up doing the WODs anyway because they'll be programmed in class. So you might as well register for the Open and partake in the fun. Registration for this year's Open begins on the 7th of January. So pretty soon here. You can get online this Thursday. Yep. So you can get online, CrossFitGames.com, and register. It's typically $20 registration, and that's it for the whole competition. And then, you download the CrossFit Games app, or you can just check their website as the competition gets rolled out. It will be running March 11th will be the first WODs released, and then it's going to run for 3 weeks this year for the majority of us. So again, typically it was a 5-week commitment. For most of us, this year is going to be 3 weeks. If you do qualify, meaning you're in the top 10% of athletes in the world, then you'll move on to the next 2 weeks, and it'll be, in essence, a 5-week competition. But that's kind of the idea. So we're January 7th to get in and March 11th to start. And we'll again be doing that. As a community, we're all planning on getting on board with this. Anything there I missed, guys?
Yeah, I think Oh, go ahead, Eric.
I was just going to say, it's kind of like going on your point about, why should I do this? I'm not a competitive athlete. It's the same reason why people run marathons and do 5Ks. Like, you don't necessarily need to think of yourself as someone that's going to, win the marathon. Just doing itself is a good challenge. And also it's fun. It's like playing a pickup game of soccer or whatever. The sport aspect of it can be fun. It doesn't mean you need to like take it seriously and devote your life to it. It's still a really good time to participate. So I definitely encourage everybody to give it a go this year.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. When people ask me why should I do it, my answer is always because you can do it. The Open is just tailored to all athletes and not just the pros. It's definitely fun when they release the workouts and watching the pros and seeing how easy they make it look. And I like watching that first and then going into it. And say Frazier gets 3 minutes on something and it took me 13 minutes. I appreciate his 3 minutes even more because you realize how much hurt he just went through to get that. So it's fun. You're working out alongside the world's best, and not often can you say that. Like Eric said, it's like playing a pickup soccer game, but it's like playing a pickup soccer game next to Ronaldinho or whoever the best soccer player in the world is. Like you get to do these workouts with them, and it's really fun, and you get to see your skill set put to work. You get to showcase your skills and development on everything you've been working on since you've been in the gym. And I can't say how many times we've seen the first that come in the Open, the first muscle up, the first double under, the 50th double under, the third muscle up. I mean, the PRs that happen during the Open, because everyone is just at another level, the gym is loud, everyone's screaming and yelling for you. It's so much fun. You really can't find anything like it. And those who have done competitions before, whether it be the Open or maybe a local competition or one of the ones we put on, kind of have an idea of what we're talking about with that environment. You just can't find that in a typical class setting. And it's the most wonderful time of year for CrossFitters is the CrossFit Open. I can't wait for it.
Yeah.
And to kind of speak on, I guess, the other side of the coin as well, if you are an athlete who's always, wanted to test yourself in competition and kind of stack yourself up against people in the region or people your age, this is also an opportunity for that competition. If you have a desire for that, you can go into the Open with a little bit of, desire to really test yourself, and whatever level that test is at doesn't really matter, but it is definitely an opportunity to compete if that's something you're really interested in.
Sorry, and just one thing to add to that, as far as testing yourself, the Open is such a huge sample size that it really gives you a good idea of where your weaknesses are. So for example, I think it was last year, that wall ball rowing workout, I absolutely tanked that compared to the rest of the world, right? As far as where I rank, maybe I'm the 95th percentile across all these workouts. And then one of them, I am the 70th percentile. It's such a huge sample size that you can really get an accurate reading of I need to work on my strength, or I need to work on my cardio, my gymnastics. So it's a good way to kind of dial in your training, which we know ultimately leads to your health as well. So
that's a good point. The Open's going to force you to face the movements you hate and maybe the movements you skip class on. If you never come to thruster day, I can guarantee you're going to see thrusters during the Open. And I know that's probably not a great sales pitch for trying to get you to sign up, but like Eric said, you got to kind of face your fears and tackle those movements that maybe your weaknesses and try to turn those into your strengths in the future. And that's where we grow when we're outside of our comfort zone. We push ourselves for these 3 weeks ahead of us, so we really find out what our fitness is and where our weaknesses are and how we can improve not only as an athlete, but as a person as well.
So in terms of, new changes for the 2021 Open, aside from just the 3-week format with the top 10 qualifying for the last 2 weeks, that's a new wrinkle. We also have more flexible options and more divisions, right? So we have an adaptive division being added this year, which is really cool in terms of making this, inclusive for all CrossFit athletes. There's new divisions in the teen and masters. They're bringing back the affiliate cup, meaning you can compete. Your box can compete as a team, which is something that, kind of faded away a couple of years ago. And we're pretty stoked to see that come back. It's also the first year that they're going to offer multiple WOD options, each week. So given a lot of the restrictions that most of the world is operating under, there might not be a place to go do the Open, but that's okay because there's going to be options for no equipment. There's going to be at-home options to do the CrossFit Open. There's going to be minimal equipment options to do the CrossFit Open. And then there'll be, your typical, say you're in a box, you have everything you need, WOD as well. So that's one of the biggest changes this year is we're adapting to the circumstances we're in. And I think it's going to really be a good way to make it work for everybody, regardless of whether you have the resources to go to your local box and do this or whether you're doing it at your house. So those are cool changes for this year. What we are going to kind of segue into here is how Primal Athletics plans on, basically running the Open, what our vision is for how we're going to operate at Nashua and Sauhegan and get our members involved. I'll pitch that over to Zach.
Yeah, so we're going to bring back some stuff from the past and kind of put some new twists on them too to try to make this Open as fun as possible for everybody and to get everybody involved. So if you've been at Primal Athletics for a while, we've done the intramural Open in the past, and you also are aware of the coaches draft. And we're going to kind of, in a sense, combine the two this year because we didn't get to do the Open last year. We didn't get to do coaches draft. So in a sense, we're going to kind of have both of those together for the Open this year. So it's going to start first with you guys registering. So as Tyler said, on the 7th of January, which is this Thursday, if you're listening today, registration is going to open at games.crossfit.com. If you don't already have an account, you just make a quick account real quick, choose CrossFit Nashua or CrossFit Sauhegan as your affiliate, and then that's done. You pay your $20 fee and you are all signed up. So for what we're doing at the gym, we want everybody to register as soon as possible because we're going to be going by the roster list on games.crossfit.com. That's how we're going to know you are registered. And from there, we're going to do a draft. So athletes who elect to go competitive with the CrossFit Open will be drafted onto a team, and every coach will be the head coach of their own team. So kind of like coaches draft, we're going to pick everybody out, and we'll make sure it's even so there's an equal amount of RX scaled masters and adaptive athletes. So we'll make sure everything is as even as possible on these. And then following the draft, which will probably be about a week or so before the Open starts, you can still sign up, and every other athlete that is registered for the Open will be assigned to a team by the coaches. And again, try to make it as even as possible. And we'll be doing a live draft party before the Open begins. So we'll stream that online for you guys. And the date's kind of tentative, but we're looking at probably Friday, March 5th, the Friday before the Open starts. So every week, with your team, you're gonna compete in the CrossFit Open workout that's given out, and you guys can gain points both individually and on your team to gain your team points. And at the very end, we'll have the CFS or CFN Cup that we'll give away to the best team over the course of the 3 weeks. So how you can accumulate points? The easiest way is just attending. So you'll get 1 point for everybody that attends. We'll do the CrossFit Open workouts every Friday. So if you show up on a Friday, do your workout, submit your scores then, you'll gain a point for your team. This goes for both RX and Scaled and any other division there as well. We'll also give out a point for the top 3 in every division for RX and Scaled. If we have enough masters, we'll figure out scoring on that too. So the top 3 males and the top 3 females in both the RX and the Scaled division will also gain 1 point for their team as well. Every week is going to have a theme for the week, which we'll get back to you guys on as soon as possible. And this will be for dressing up for some different costumes, stuff like that. And every week we'll give out 3 points to the best dressed team. So that'll only be from one team. You get 3 points. So a big chunk of change there for the best dressed team. We'll have also some spirit awards, both individual and team awards. So for the team awards, you'll get 5 points. This is the most points you can get for your team. The team with the most noise, pride, and presence each week will receive 5 bonus points. This is separate from the best dressed. These are going to be people that are there cheering others on, cheering not only their teammates on, but other people as well, being loud, being in the gym, and being supportive of everybody else. Will get the 5 team points weekly for their spirit awards. And we'll also have an individual Spirit of the Open weekly awards. All the coaches will be watching all the athletes. They participate in the Open workouts, both during the workout and before and after. Any athlete that is found to be showing the true spirit of the Open, that community, the positivity, and cheering people on, will be randomly awarded a bonus point for their team. There's no limit to how many individual spirit points will be given out, but the coach won't be able to give them out to their own team. So we'll make sure there's a fair scoring system there, but you can give them out to other teams as well. So the Spirit of the Open, both weekly and individual and team weekly points there. So these are all subject to change. These are our preliminary plans here. We're still working out some of the final kinks on these. This is what we're looking for to make things as fun as possible. So there'll be themes every week. You'll get points for attending, points for your performance, and points for your team spirit as well.
We really just encourage you guys to get on to the website and register, as soon as it opens, January 7th. Start making some plans, start, getting excited for this thing because, as I said, you're going to end up doing the workouts anyway. So might as well really invest in it and test yourself and see what you can do coming down the pipe in March. If you have questions about the CrossFit Open, anything specifically, maybe what you should be focused on in terms of like adding any extra work, any of that stuff, you just, kind of curious, feel free to reach out to any of us and we'll do our best to point you in the right direction. Any closing words for Eric and Zach, things we missed?
Yeah, I would say just again, another angle of trying to encourage you to sign up is, CrossFit, the company HQ, they've been through a lot this year and they've, as far as like changing CEOs, and of course they took a huge, massive hit as far as, they're not able to do their certifications in person. So, they've definitely suffered just as much as the affiliates. And I think this is a good opportunity to kind of rally behind them and show our support for kind of the new leadership at CrossFit headquarters, and just, throw them $20 is gonna, if we get a lot of people signed up, that's gonna help them out a lot as well, I'm sure. So just another reason to get behind this kind of the larger CrossFit community and help out CrossFit HQ.
For sure. It's a excellent rallying cause right now for the global community. And I think it would be really cool to see like record numbers of participation, even in a year where we've had so much adversity. I think that would be an awesome response from the CrossFit community to come out and band together and really make this one special.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's have some fun. I mean, we didn't do any of our competitions last year. We couldn't do community events. So this is our one time, even if it's still in a sense kind of cut down from what we're used to doing. Like we're not doing the Friday night lights or anything like that. And we're kind of held to a certain number of people per class. Like we can really rally around each other and have some fun as a community. So let's get signed up and we'll draft you guys onto a team. And hopefully you're on my team because we're going to win and we'll have a really good time.
Yeah, buddy. All right, guys. Well, thank you for sitting in. And again, if you got questions, feel free to reach out. As always, we will see you next episode.